Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing tonight? Well, I get a little bit of a breather from working my job that I do to pay my bills. And I decided to smoke out of my bubbler tonight because it's been a minute. So for those people that might suspect that I do any kind of illicit drugs because I don't have any teeth in my head, it has nothing to do with that. The only thing that I do is I smoke weed, and weed isn't a drug, it's a plant. So I don't know where people think that I'm doing illicit drugs. I mean, I can kind of understand how they might get the misconception that I might have used to do drugs, hard drugs in my day, because of the fact that I don't have any teeth in my mouth, but it has nothing to do with that. I mean, if people really want to know the story, I can tell them how all my teeth started deteriorating probably about 25 years ago when I was pregnant with my one and only child. But, and then just an array of things. But I do take personal responsibility for the deterioration of my teeth because I did used to eat too much sugar. I did used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. I did used to just not, take care of my teeth. I had pretty teeth up until I was probably about 35, I think. No, I was a little older. It was like 2011 when I lost my first tooth, unintentionally. Even though I've had dental work off and on throughout my life, since basically the age of 5. I always had an overcrowded mouth, so I had permanent teeth pulled when I was a child once I started coming in to make room for the other teeth. I've had permanent teeth pulled that needed a root canal, but I couldn't afford it, so I just optioned out for them removing the tooth. But as far as my front teeth, I didn't start having any issues with them until probably about 2011. So 14 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. Anyway, enough about that. What do you say to a person whose channel is trash? I mean, it's obviously that's all I bring, according to some people out there. That, And I find it sad that all people focus on, some people, not all people, but some people in life, all they focus on is the outer. They don't recognize the inner because they're too busy looking at the outer. And it's pretty sad when somebody can only bring judgment upon you based off of your outer appearance, because truly they're so far dug into their ego, or their ego's dug into them, that they think they have the end-all be-all truth about where they came from and everybody's existence on Earth, apparently. It's freaking laughable. It really is. YouTube is starting to become a comedy show. Comedy hour. You choose which entertainment value that you want based off of the channel that you go to. And some of these people are really into themselves and find themselves to be the end-all be-all, but that's only in their mind. I've never claimed to be the end-all be-all. I never claimed to be somebody I wasn't. What you see with me right here, right now, is what you get. I'm the same behind the screen as I would be in person. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have this thing called integrity. What you see is what you get. And ask me a question and I'll tell you an answer. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to like the answer, but I'll give you a response. You know? There's so many people out there that think they have the end-all be-all. And there's basically cults based off of it, you know? Christianity, for one. And then there's these other groups, you know, that spawn off of other groups, you know? One's called the Hebrew Israelites. One's called the Sacred Namers is what I call them, because there's some people out there that says if you don't say the sacred name of God, then all this stuff. It just goes to show you the mentality of some people, how easily programmed they are. I started peeling off layers of programming years ago. For myself, you know, not for anybody else. Because that's their journey to go through, you know. This is my channel, this is my documentation of my journey, not based off of anybody else. Now, I can share stories and experiences of my personal life, you know, and I have shared those things. My intention when I first started this YouTube page back in 2009, so it's been 15 years ago, it was mainly to document and be a place for me to save videos that I made, personal videos that I made from my phone, and then videos that I made once I got my camcorder in 2010. And making videos of me personally, some of my thoughts, some of my husband who played the guitar and was trying to find a band, and then videos of my daughter and different events and things like that. So that was the main reason why I started my YouTube channel. And it also was a place for me to make music playlists of my favorite videos and favorite songs and stuff like that, so I didn't have to consistently search online for these things. And most of those playlists are made private now, but I might still have a couple of playlists out there with music videos in them. But I just had such a long list of playlists that I just decided to make them private, to try to bring more awareness to like my videos, or to newer playlists that I had in mind of trying to promote, or just making it easier to navigate through my channel. And that's it in a nutshell. Basically just me sharing my life since December of 2009. And I went a long time span there in between the last video, which I think was in 2012 or 2013, up until just a couple of years ago. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on that specific subject matter. I think I'm going to end the video, simply because I don't really have anything else to state on that. What you see is what you get, you know. There's a few other things that I could say, but I can't really think of them in the moment. But yeah, basically, if y'all have any questions for me, I'm an open book. I basically don't have a fear in sharing reality about my life, about my past, about my present. I have no fear. I have no shame. I have no regrets of anything that I've done in my life. And, you know, that's one thing I've learned in life is nobody should have any regrets on anything that they've done, because at the time that you were doing it because you wanted to do it. you know? And you had a choice to do or not to do, to be or not to be. You know, that's why I don't really believe in mistakes, because mistakes really aren't mistakes, because at the time that we were doing it, we didn't view it as a mistake in that present moment. The afterthought, and depending on the outcome of that choice, would render one to believe, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or, I'm glad I did that. Myself, there's things in my past that some people would be like, whoa, I could never do that. Or, wow, really? And at one point in time, I would have been one of those people saying, wow, you really did that? Instead of me saying, wow, you really did that, I decided to go out and do it and experience it, you know? And it might have seemed a little seedy or shady or whatever. But I have no shame in my game. But when I was 19 years old, I used to be a stripper. For 6 months. Believe it or not. You know, according to this one viewer, I'm just, you know, I need to put a bag over my head or whatever. But whatever, you know. I'm 55 years old. I've got about probably 20-something years on this kid. So it's whatever. Until they've walked into shoes. Go away. Go away, child. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, I was a little bit better shape, weighed probably about 100 pounds less. I had no self-confidence at that point in time, because of my size, you know. I wasn't a Barbie doll, but I wasn't as heavy in reality as I was in my mind, you know. Because it all does stem from the mind. And I'm working on that. But yeah, I didn't have the self-confidence. And then I went to a show one night just to see, you know, how it was done. And there was this girl named Sugar. She was a very heavy-set girl. She was like way bigger than I was. And she was raking in the bucks, man. She was raking in the bucks. Men were like basically throwing their money at her. Because she was hot. She was sexy. She knew how to, you know, move. And she knew how to draw in the crowd, so to speak. So it kind of gave me a hope and a fire inside of my soul, thinking, you know, wow, she can do that, so can I. You know, why not? I was 19. You only live once. And if you had the opportunity to do something, which this was presented to me, I could have said no. I could have walked away. I could have never even dipped my toe into that pool, you know, of that subject matter. But I decided to dip my toe in and to try it out and see how it felt, you know. And it gave me a perspective, an understanding. That's what I'm getting at. A perspective, an understanding. Because, why? I experienced it. You know, it wasn't some perspective from somebody sitting on the sidelines that had never done anything like that. You know? Because some people are like, oh, how could you ever do that? And then there's other people that are like, oh, wow, really? Tell me about it. What was it like, you know? So there's two sides to every story. And there's two sides to the coin. There's a yin and there's a yang. It's all about balance, you know, in my mind. And I've done things in this life that some people would cringe at. And then there's other things I've done in this life where people would give me a hand or a pat on the back for doing, you know? But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, the only person I can count on is me. And the only thing that I can take away from any of this is my experiences and my perspectives, because they have made me who I am today. And unless a person takes the time to get to know me, they're not really going to know me. Because I'm not the type of person that just shares out and gives out anything and everything. But if you really take the time to listen, then you get all the information that you need about me. Because I am a very transparent person. If you are an observer and a listener, an avid listener, and empathetic. But if you don't have any of those little qualities within you somewhere, then everything that I say is going to go over your head anyways. You know what I mean? Or at least that's my perspective. Or my opinion on that. And trust me, I am very opinionated. And I let my opinion be known when it's known. You know? No disrespect to anybody. But, you know, you can't hide your true colors. You know? The truth will always be made known by how you present yourself. And I don't present myself to be anything other than what I am. I don't present myself to be this, you know, beautiful face all made up like some of these girls do. That do like makeup transformations and stuff, where they start with like no makeup at all, and then by the end of the video they look like a completely different person. No, I'm not like that. What you see is what you get with me. And if you don't like it, well, you can strap on down the line to somewhere else. I don't really care, because I'm not here for views. I'm not here for likes. I'm not here for anybody's entertainment other than my own. Now, there's a few cool peeps that I have hooked up with here. And I know who you are. And you know who you are. And the connection is felt. And then there's others that just troll me. So, and don't ever say anything. And all I can say is, hey, I hope I bring them some entertainment somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion. You know? Because after all, that's all life is a game. So much peace, love, hugs, nugs, and all that good stuff. And until the next time, I'm out. And probably the next video I do will be chapter 6 of Mr. Wolf and Me. So keep your eyes open for that reading as well. And until the next time, peace, love, hugs, nugs, blessings. I'm out.